YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So we saw a fantastic fight that passed this weekend. It was a heavyweight title showdown between two Olympic gold medalists that came out of the same class. With that being said, it was one undefeated former undisputed cruiserweight and Oleksandr Usyk, Ukrainian superstar boxer, who was Olympic gold medalist in the same class as his fellow counterpart and two-time unified heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua. With that said, Oleksandr Usyk came into the fight 18 wins, no losses, no draws, 13 wins by way of knockout. Oleksandr Usyk, 34 years of age, stands at 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach. Anthony Joshua came in with a loss that came at the hands of Andy Ruiz Jr. June 1st of 2019, Madison Square Garden. Anthony Joshua's United States debut as a professional. He fought as an amateur in the States, never as a professional. With that said, Andy Ruiz, he dropped Anthony Joshua 4 times and ultimately stopped him in the 7th round. That's the loss and the blemish on his resume. He then, in December of that year, rectified it, came back and beat Andy Ruiz Jr. via unanimous decision. So, with that said, they were going into a unification bout as Oleksandr Usyk, he's an undisputed cruiserweight. So he turned heavyweight title contender because he was the WBO, World Boxing Organization's champion at cruiserweight. And the way they operate, when you move up in weight and you don't lose the title, they automatically push you ahead of the line. You become the mandatory challenger for whomever is the champion at that weight class, which happened to be Anthony Joshua. Okay, so he became the mandatory for Anthony Joshua in the WBO title, and he defeated Anthony Joshua pretty handily in an action-packed fight. They went back and forth. At some point in time, it was a seesaw fight. Usyk will win a round, Joshua will win the next round. Usyk will win a round, Joshua will win the next round. Now, the first 3 rounds, Oleksandr Usyk clearly won the first 3 rounds. I believe in the next 3 rounds, 4, 5, and 6, Anthony Joshua won 4, 5, and 6. Then it became a seesaw battle from that point forward. And Oleksandr Usyk, every time Anthony Joshua did something, he responded. Okay, every time Anthony Joshua looked to, create any momentum, Oleksandr Usyk, he responded to seize that momentum, to slow it down. Okay, and so with that said, he took control 11 and 12 clearly. And 12th round looked like he was on the verge of stopping Oleksandr Usyk. Okay, Oleksandr Usyk looked like he was on the verge of stopping Anthony Joshua in the 12th round. Okay, the fight ended 5 seconds early. A lot of people had a lot to say about that. This fight took place in Tottenham in the UK, where a lot of people were concerned. You had guys like Teddy Atlas and many other people concerned that Oleksandr Usyk would not get a fair shake. Okay, and so ironically enough, the judges' scorecards were read, and Scott Forster, one of the judges, he clearly was trying to give the fight to Anthony Joshua, as he had Usyk winning majority of the early rounds. Now, nobody had Usyk winning the early rounds. Anthony Joshua winning the very early rounds. Now, he made a surge and a push in the middle of the fight. Like I said, the 4, 5, and 6, I thought he won those rounds. But in the very early rounds, he was giving those rounds to Anthony Joshua. Ironically enough, there's reports that Eddie Hearn, MATCHROOM CEO and promoter Anthony Joshua, was not truly happy with the scorecards. Okay, he wasn't happy with the wide scorecard margin for one of the judges that had it 117 to 112 in favor of Oleksandr Usyk over Anthony Joshua, and they thought that was a pretty wide margin. And indirectly, they're drawing attention by having this complaint and feeling like the judges' scorecards were too far apart in favor of Usyk. Well, it revealed that one of the judges was trying to give the fight to Anthony Joshua, just like many people like Teddy Atlas was concerned that Usyk wouldn't get a fair shake because it's in the UK and Anthony Joshua is such a big star in the UK that Usyk wouldn't get a fair shake. And this judge clearly didn't want to give Usyk a fair shake. The United States judge and the Ukrainian judge, they both had it right. Okay. Now, one judge is their concern is Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. Their concern is that the one scorecard was 117-112. Now, I think that's pretty far apart. You know, there's a lot of people that felt like Alexander Usyk dominated this fight. I thought he clearly won the fight. I didn't think he dominated the fight to the fashion that it was anybody won 5 rounds more than the other guy. You know, I clearly didn't see that. You know, I thought Usyk won, you know, 7 rounds to 5, maybe even 8 rounds to 4. Okay. But to see Usyk win, you know, 5 rounds more than Anthony Joshua, I didn't see that. So 117-112 to me, in my opinion, is pretty far apart. Okay. That's the issue that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua reportedly have, that this judge, you know, missed a good fight and, you know, widely scored it for Usyk, you know, unrealistically, where I don't believe it was unrealistically. I just think that he was may have slightly gave, because 5 rounds for him is, you know, 8 rounds to 4 is in my opinion. So I could see him giving, you know, 1 more round and having it, you know, 9 rounds to, you know, to 3. But I thought it couldn't have been no more than 8 rounds to 4. I personally had it 7 rounds to 5 for Alexander Usyk, clearly winning 11 and 12, the championship rounds handily. Okay, so with that said, you know, obviously Anthony Joshua, you can see, you know, a look on his face at the end of the fight. He was surprised that, you know, Usyk won the unanimous decision, but then, you know, he turned and, you know, he just congratulated Usyk, clapped, and so on and so forth, you know. But the other judge that was attempting to give it to Anthony Joshua, you can see the rounds that he was giving to Anthony Joshua clearly was Usyk rounds, and the rounds he was giving to Usyk clearly was Joshua rounds. So he was trying to make up for the mistakes he made early in the fight. You look at the scoring in the back half on his scorecards. He was giving Usyk Joshua rounds and Joshua Usyk rounds, right? So he clearly was just trying to play catch up. He was trying to make up for the mistakes he made earlier, not the mistakes or the intention he had early. Okay, we see this far too often in the sport of boxing, where judges have made their decision before the fight even started, and you know, the wrong guy gets the decision. Okay, and we saw that with the Oscar Valdez-Robson Conceição fight, where one judge had it 117-110, clearly for Oscar Valdez, in a fight that 80% to 85% of the people thought Oscar Valdez lost the fight. He had it 117-110, which means he gave Robson Conceição 2 to 3 rounds in a fight that most people thought Robson Conceição won the fight. So what fight was he watching? And then, obviously, prior to that, we had the Michael Fox and Maestro fight, where a judge had it 117 to 110, and Michael in favor of Maestro, when Michael Fox dropped Maestro and clearly dominated the rest of the rounds. And in that fight, 90% of the people thought that Mike Fox won the fight. So, you know, these things happen far too often in the sport of boxing. Do I think it should have been a unanimous decision for Usyk? Absolutely. Okay, it clearly should have been a unanimous decision for Usyk, in my opinion. A 117-112 may have been a stretch, you know, a round too far. But, I mean, if you thought that Usyk responded and answered to Anthony Joshua's, you know, onslaught at the time, and you felt like Usyk, you know, evened it out or edged the round out, you can't argue with that. You know, the rounds were close. The Joshua rounds were close. Now, I thought in 3, 4, 5, and 6, I thought that, you know, Anthony Joshua clearly won those rounds. Okay, I thought Usyk clearly won 1, 2, and 3. So for this judge to see Usyk winning round 1, Anthony Joshua, he looks surprised. He looks confused in the first round. He looked lost in the first round. So, and he didn't land many punches in the first round. So how could you score the first round for Anthony Joshua? The first round, I thought was the most dominant round for Alexander Usyk. It set the tone for the rest of the fight. So how could you see Anthony Joshua winning the first round? So and then he gave Anthony Joshua the third round. In another round, Usyk clearly dominated that fight, and he was landing big left hands all night. Okay, so I think that clearly, you know, this judge had an agenda. And he realized as the fight was playing on, and especially what took place in the 11th and 12th round, that, you know, he had to get it right, or he was going to face a lot of heat. And he's still facing heat. There's people that saying that they want, they feel like he should be, suspended. There's that these judges should be suspended. Forster should be suspended, and also the other judge that had it, 117, 112 should be suspended as well. So now they're pointing to controversy in this fight as to, the decision, but I don't believe that there's much controversy. Yeah, Scott Forster clearly had an agenda before the fight started, and he clearly was going for Anthony Joshua. And the judge that had it 117, 112 is not so far-fetched that, it's non-believable. So it's believable to say that you thought Usyk won 9 rounds to 3. That's believable. I personally thought it was 8 rounds to 4, 7 rounds to 5. That was just my scorecard. But, I believe the right man won in this instant. Usually when we have these issues, and and these judges' scorecards, the right man is not winning the fight. That's the biggest problem. Okay, usually when we have these scorecards and we have these issues with the judges and these scorecards, usually the right man is not winning the fight. Okay, but in this instant, the right man has won the fight. So I don't think there's much controversy going on with this fight. I do believe there was definitely some agenda on the part of Forster, and the other judge that had it in favor of the wide margin in favor of Usyk. I don't think it's much going on there. It's not far-fetched for him to have it 9 rounds to 3. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. Obviously, there's going to be now an immediate rematch, barring Anthony Joshua's injury, sidelining him because there's reports that he possibly could have broken his eye socket. He went to the hospital immediately following the fight. And so we have to see how that plays out. But Alexander Usyk is going to be the clear A side. We have to see where the fight takes place now, because Usyk is going to have a lot to say so. And I'm almost certain he ain't going to want to have this fight take place in the UK again. And I doubt if Anthony Joshua wants to go to the Ukraine. But they'll find a common medium for this fight to take place, I'm sure. It's going to be a big fight, big rematch. People want to see if Usyk is Andy Ruiz 2.0, okay? The difference is Alexander Usyk is very focused. He's never out of shape. He's not like Andy Ruiz. He's not going to miss the opportunity. He wanted this fight since, he won undisputed at cruiserweight. He's an Olympic gold medalist, just like Anthony Joshua. He is a undisputed champion. Now he's a unified champion. He's undefeated. He's very decorated himself. He has a whole country in the Ukraine behind him as well. So I'm hard pressed to see, them be able to just throw their weight around as the A side. Well, we the biggest star. That's not going to work with Alexander Usyk, because he's just as accomplished, if not more accomplished, than Anthony Joshua. So let's see how this unfolds in the rematch. And of course, the judges is always going to be in question when you have a highly favorite fighter like Anthony Joshua lose, and there's going to be a lot of things revealed. So let's see how everything unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.